Welcome to Wild Success for You. This is your host, Donna Denome, and tonight we're going to focus on finding gems in dark places. For those of you who don't know me, I am a master success coach, a shamanic healer, a conscious energy teacher, and I am so pleased to spend time with you this evening. I'm going to be giving you a little bit of background during our time together, but I won't go too much into depth. So if you have any further questions about my training or my expertise, feel free to check out my website at Wild Success for You or donnadenome.com. And also feel free to contact me. Just like this remarkable old tree, there's a lot going on beneath the surface of you. Sometimes these trunks of these trees, they span a city block or more. They're just magnificent. And their roots go far and deep. And I want to say that there's just so much more to you, and you go far and you go deep too, into the recesses of what is unseen. Wild Success for You is a wonderful platform for enrichment and empowerment. In this introductory presentation, we'll be focusing on the 4 facets of Wild Success for You: self-discovery, transformation, sacred path, and soul creativity. And I'll go a little deeper into each one of these facets as I correlate them to the 8 essential keys, which is where we can mine those gems that we find in dark places. Our programs are designed to open you to your own self-discovery, lead you through a path of transformation, and encourage you to see your life as your sacred path, to help you up-level the way in which you express, which I believe is your soul creativity. I've drawn on award-winning, internationally published books to create enrichment and empowerment programs that are time-tested for their effectiveness. Just so you know a little bit more about the background for this particular material that we're going to be focusing on, 8 Keys to Wholeness, Tools for Hope-Filled Healing, was the book that I researched and developed over a period of about 5 years. And I also drew on a lifetime of personal and professional experience in shaping that material. I think it's really a rich weaving of a lot of different aspects of my work over 30 years. So I have 4 tools for discovery, transformation, and wild success. And, you know, this trio of books that you see here came about in kind of an interesting way. I've been a coach for many, many years. And years ago, my coaching clients asked me to write something as a touchstone between their sessions. And I had this little book printed up, and I was surprised to see that within the first 5 months, we sold out of 1,000 copies. And I printed another 3,000, and we sold out of those in less than a year. So in a little over a year, we had sold 4,000 copies. And at that time, they were only in 3 local stores. So I redesigned the version you see here, Turtle Wisdom, Coming Home to Yourself. It's on the right. And since then, that little turtle has made its way around the world. We're now in 9 countries, worldwide in Chinese and worldwide in Spanish. Our card deck in the middle is a confidence building tool in a box. It's very portable and easy to use, and families love to play with that one together. And the Turtle Wisdom Playbook on the left, a motivational coloring adventure, completed the set of 3. And that one is a wonderfully experiential and super fun, self-reflective and confidence building tool. And I know that we have 4 tools here, and that's because I also offer a 30-day program working with that particular material. And it's called the 30-Day Invitation, Coming Home to Yourself. And it's being offered online in November of this year. So whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever's going on in your life, this is the call. Come home to yourself. And I always like to start there because for me, it truly begins and ends within each of us and how we acknowledge, how we accept, and how we celebrate who we are. As we come home to ourselves, we are able to reveal that beautiful, unique self that each one of us is. So I've added the 8 Keys to Wholeness book right there on the right-hand side of the slide because it's really going to be our tool for the deeper healing and transformational work that we're going to focus on this evening. With this background understanding, let's move into our focus, discovering gems in dark places. And we'll just touch on the 8 essential keys that can help you find the gems in your own darkness. And still, I think I'm going to give you a good understanding of what the potential is that these 8 keys hold. I'll also share some information about several different possibilities for you to dive in deeper. And I'll be kind of flowing back and forth between these teaching components and the opportunity sections. So just stay tuned. My intention this evening is to be complete within our hour and to leave you with a few good strategies for discovering and integrating those precious gems into the wholeness of who you are at your core self. I want to start with pain because we all have it. We have pain on various levels. And I'd ask you to just pause for a moment. You can close your eyes or you can leave them open if you choose. But be fully present right now within your own physical body. And check in as I ask, how do you feel tonight? How does it feel to be inside of your skin? And are there any places of tightness or imbalance or even pain? Are there any places of illness or disease? Just acknowledge how you feel on a physical level and any difficulties that might be there that you're aware of. It's important to have this self-awareness. And then take a moment to check in on the mental level as well. Are your thoughts just racing around at such a rapid speed that they're bumping into one another? Or are you clear and focused? Are you having thoughts of your day and perhaps what you might have done differently today? Or are you celebrating the successes that you've had? And how about on an emotional level? How does it feel to be you emotionally today? Are you happy, sad, confused, feeling alone? Are you excited, celebrating life? Just check in this moment, because it's from this place that we move forward. There is a sacred path that leads from where you are to where you want to be, and wild success is there. Are you homesick for a place you're not even sure exists? Do you long for more than what you're experiencing right now? Is there a place where you feel your body can be accepted and loved just as it is, and grow into more of health and well-being? A place where your heart feels safe and appreciated, and your deepest soul is known and understood. Something eternal, something with greater meaning, begins to shine through the dark veil of earthly existence. This is a quote by Marie-Louise von Franz, and I think it's really powerful. I think that many people have things that are hidden behind that dark veil. Some little naggy part that seems to interfere with their happiness and their success. You know, I come from a life path that has really been very wonderful, very accomplished and fulfilling. I've had the honor of doing meaningful work with people over the past 30 years, and I've had a very full personal life too. And yet I found that I had this inner peace that was out of sync with the rest of my outer picture. Although I had many, many tools that I could access and that I actively used for myself and for my clients, in spite of all these effective coping tools and powerful transformation tools, there was still this one little place within me that wasn't reached, that remained wounded. And although I was very satisfied in my daily existence, there was still that little untouched piece that I didn't share with many people. I didn't share it very often. It was the part that I pushed down or held at bay. Do you have a part of you like that? A part that you just push away, a piece that you don't like to share, a part of your story that doesn't seem like something you want to claim? Because I wholeheartedly believe that we can never, ever really escape ourselves. And those pieces and those parts that we shun or don't look at can and do affect our lives. For me, I didn't want to appear weak or look like I was a victim. It's not how I wanted to be seen. Yet I do come from a background of childhood sexual abuse, and I know this is true for some of you too, who may be listening. It's one of many different experiences that people tend to push away. Yet those wounded parts, they remain within us unless they're given the attention they deserved, unless they're cleaned out and treated with medicinal salve and loving care. And you know, our unconscious mind and our stifled emotions often communicate with us in ways that are visual and can also be remarkably symbolic. And for me, and what I believe was a very mystical experience, at one point I felt the movement of energy in the place of the high heart. And that's the place that's between your heart and your throat. It's a power place. It's a place of speaking from your deepest heart of hearts. And I felt this energy stir and stretch and begin to move. And these two stunningly beautiful white birds stretched up and out through my throat, just flying freely out beyond my mouth and out into the great beyond. And I heard a strong voice of conviction say, "Your wound has become your strength. Your wound has become your strength." And honestly, I think that was when I decided to commit myself to sharing this work that I've developed over decades of experience working with clients, teaching conscious energy classes, enrichment classes, creating empowerment programs and workshops, and leading shamanic study groups and integrative ceremonies for deeper healing. I've even offered retreats and spiritual trips and worked with clients across the US, Mexico, and Canada. Although this online venue is relatively new for me, I've found that it's possible to cultivate the same deep connection online as we can do in person. And I've seen the great impact that programs can have when we meet on this sacred platform. I've already seen this potential, and I'm very excited to share with you in this way. So, one thing I sometimes refer to myself as is a heebie-jeebie healer. The heebie-jeebies are those things that haunt you, that nag you, that go bump in the night and disturb your sound sleep. They're the thoughts, the beliefs or fears, the experiences or remnants of memory that are difficult to hold, hard to look at. They may even burn to the touch. So if you have any of those pieces within you, please know that you're in the right place. And for those of you who are coming from already feeling very accomplished and happy and well-adjusted in your life, well, I want to say that there's still so much more to you. I believe there's a piece of you that's still stretching to reach out, longing for you to connect with it and capture its full potential. And if you awaken with the promise of each and every day, you can recognize your truest gift of what you have to offer our world. So here we are within this shadow piece, the part that's not always above ground, but it's always there affecting us. And we find that in that shadow is where there is lost, forgotten, even banished or exiled pieces of ourselves. Sometimes they're just parts that we haven't gotten to know. And at times these are the difficult pieces, our wounding, our pain, our suffering. Yet at other times, these untapped, lost, or banished pieces are within people are actually the parts of our giftedness. Do you know that sometimes children are told you aren't very good at that, whatever that may be. And they don't think they can be an artist, a singer, a speaker, a musician, a writer. So this shadow piece is also about revealing your inner beauty, revealing your great and greater potential. Here's a visual overview of what we're going to go through tonight in our time together. And there's no need to write it all down because I'm going to make it available a little later in our call. I do want to mention that this is an original piece of commission art by inspirational artist Susan Andra Lyon. And our beautiful chakra woman with the little circles here for each of the 7 primary chakras or primary energy centers in the body, mind, emotional, energetic system. We focus on those 7 major chakras as a part of our 7 essential keys, which are the darker words you see on the right of the slide. You know, this chakra system is ancient and it brings a powerful, energetic that creates the container that we can use for going after and nurturing and healing these deeper wounds. The 3 triangle locations that you see, they correlate with 3 additional chakras within the body, mind, emotional system, and they also form my 8th key. There are 3 parts to the 8th key. I call them the divine gifts: your divine inheritance, your divine passion, and your divine mission. And I have to say that people really resonate with this part of the 8 keys to wholeness. It's almost like the dessert at the end of the meal. Delicious. So tonight we're going to go into a little more depth with 2 of our 8 keys. And the first one I want to focus on is the 4th key, which correlates with the heart chakra and is about living your authentic self. And I find that first and foremost, we have to pause and think about what is your authentic self? Do you know? Because often when I work with clients, this may be the very first piece of our work together, skillful exploration leading into a more awakened or revitalized understanding of who they are and what they would like to draw forth in their life, and also looking at what is important to them so they can make conscious choices rather than reactive ones, so they can express more and more of their core self. So in this moment, I would ask you, who are you? Are you truly aware of who that person is? Be honest with yourself in this moment and tap into that honest and sincere core self. And I would also like to ask, do you like her? Do you like that beautiful, unique person who is you? Because I believe that self-acceptance is really the very first piece. It's from here that our blossoming can occur. And your potential may be greater than you think. The Buddha says, the mind that perceives the limitation is the limitation. And that's a part of what we do with this 4th key also, is to go in and work with what is in our hearts and also our heart of hearts, or the depths of our hearts. What is your heart's desire, your soul's longing? And what's standing in the way of that? What are the blocks to your success? What are the blocks to your happiness? And do you have any resistance to either of those? Are you holding yourself back from what you think you truly want? In what ways are you sabotaging yourself? And how can you instead support yourself in drawing forward the very best from within you, your heart's desires, your soul's longings, drawing them forward to express in your everyday life? and perhaps even to have them shape the course of that life. Another part of our heart focus is to look at the strong aspects of ourself, as well as the weaker parts. Perhaps some of these weaker parts are the wounded ones, the ones that have been hurt by others in some way, or even hurt by yourself. It may be an inner child who was taken advantage of, but it might also be another aspect of the adult self, like the introvert or the contemplative one. And in this heart center, I use practices and processes that I've developed through my years of assisting clients so we can draw out those weaker parts and encourage the stronger parts of ourselves to embrace our own weaknesses and help move them along toward expression and further growth. When something is difficult or challenging or trauma happens, you can let it define you, you can let it destroy you, or you can even let it strengthen you. So in this heart space and working with the 8 keys, we also learn how to reframe difficulties as opportunities and how to let our wounds become our strength. And sometimes it's through embracing our own darkness that we reveal our greatest light. I like to ask, what is it that is within your control? Because there's always something. And then to develop from that place courage, humor, even grace in moving in and through, so that you discover and awaken, develop your own resiliency. I love this slide because the picture I chose for it shows now the shadow, but it's in the light. And I think during that part of the program together in the 4th key, we really come into the light. In the lower chakras and the lower keys, we're working with the wounding in a way that honors it, acknowledges it, and helps to begin the transformation. But in the heart, it really begins to become uplifted and even joyful in some cases. So the 5th key is about expressing your evolving self. Now, you wouldn't scold a little child who's learning to walk for the very first time, a little toddler. You wouldn't scold them for falling down, and you wouldn't scold them for not doing it right. So it fascinates me how critical people are of their evolving self. In this 5th key, we explore how we can best express our evolving self at each stage of our development, each step of our unfolding, and be patient with ourselves because we're not finished yet. We learn to praise and celebrate each and every part of that becoming. And so I'm curious, what do you think your happiness level is on a scale of 1 to 10? How do you feel about your life right now? How do you feel about who you are at this very moment? What are you thinking when you assess how you're doing? I think our greatest healing is to wake up from what we're not and to embrace who we really, really are, to look at where we're at each day, and if we're in alignment with our core values and our essential being. I find that personal assessments on a day-to-day basis can really help us stay aligned to our true course. And are you expressing the very best parts of you, of who you are, the parts that would make you happy? Or is there that deep, deep something that longs to have its way through you? Your divine inheritance is the unique giftedness that only you were given, and without you would not be expressed. So we all kind of need you to bring that beautiful, unique expression forward. I'm often asked, does this work, Donna, engage the inner child? And of course it does. This work not only addresses the inner child, but what I call the golden inner child, your very little best self that could ever be, that may or may not have been comforted, encouraged, and supported into being the very best little being that she could be. She's still in there, and she's waiting for you. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. And Gandhi said that. A lot of our work in this 8 essential keys is to bring us into congruency on all levels so that we can move forward stronger and vitalized. Oh, I did want to mention tonight the Jump for Joy program. It's a Path of Heart, and it's a retreat that I'm offering in Grand Lake, Colorado in September. And we'll be meeting in the beautiful mountains of Colorado. It focuses, this program, on what brings joy to our lives and how to expand our happiness level and bring more joy into more of our precious moments, I want to say. We include 2 nights lodging and 5 delicious and nutritious meals with lots of organics and local produce in this retreat setting. And the freestanding sanctuary where our group meets it has like a whole wall of windows. So even when you're inside, you're connected to the beautiful outdoors. And as a shamanic healer and a ceremonialist, I love to draw on the remarkable energy of the mountains and the lake. And so we definitely do outdoor activities. We work with a magnificent waterfall and also do a powerful energetic release on a bridge. I still have a few openings, and if you contact me in the next 24 to 48 hours, I'll give you a super discount to attend if you're listening to this webinar. And you can also receive further discounts if you sign up with friends. So we're going to take a little pause here, and I'm going to just grab a little bit of water before we do that. And I'm going to ask you to take a little bit of a breath and then take a nice deep breath. Let's pause here for a moment, as you might pause to reflect at the end of a day. And I would ask, is there anything that you've been struggling with? Is there anything that you've been wondering about or straining to reach for? And I know I've been moving kind of quickly, but our time is short here. And I wonder how what I've shared feels to you. I wonder if any of what I've said sounds familiar, if it rumbles within you or hits a nerve. Is there anything that I've said that you're curious about, that you want to know more about? Just touch in with yourself to see where you are right now. And I would also ask, what are you needing right now What is important for you? And then when you're ready, if you have your eyes closed, go ahead and open them. I have more information that I want to share with you about finding gems, but first I'd like to share something special with you. You know, I absolutely adore working with groups, whether they're small or large, and I work with a lot of different kinds of groups in a variety of settings. I'm going to be offering an online program, and this program will be a small group event. We'll have a limited size, so it'll allow for individual attention, and we'll also have some opportunities for group interaction. And of course, sharing is always optional. I do find that we can often reap great benefits as we learn from each other's experiences. We'll be meeting for 8 weeks to explore and deepen with the powerful skills and tools highlighted within the 8 keys. And I've successfully held these programs in person for the past 3.5 years. And I've seen its potential, as well as seeing the potential with my first online program, the 30-day invitation, Coming Home to Yourself. I've decided to offer the 8 essential keys online too, because I know it's difficult for people to travel and meet with me 8 weeks in a row. And I see that this online format can be quite freeing because you can join in online when you're available. And when you are needed elsewhere, you can listen to the recording at your convenience. And of course, having the sessions recorded is kind of a bonus because you can listen to them again and again, and even just select pieces of our time together. In the past 6 months, I've adapted these detailed and powerful multidimensional keys for the online program so that it can translate into this format. And it's a place for you to heal your deepest wounds through a comprehensive system that engages the mind, engages your emotions, and works with the ancient energetic system of the body to bring forth true and lasting results. Participants have reported back to me that it helps them access their intuition, their inner guidance. It helps to bring them into soul alignment with the truth of their essential being, and it enables them to move forward with purposeful living that enhances their health and their happiness. And I do include with this program an online Facebook group for interaction between sessions. I also provide one personal private coaching session so that you and I can explore further this material and how it relates to you specifically. So the regular cost of this program is $950 for the 8 weeks, which I like to think is kind of a bargain for all the material and the expertise I bring to this teaching, as well as the number of hours that we share together. Without exception, every single person who has taken the program thus far has scored it 10 out of 10 in terms of its value. And they felt it was definitely worth what they paid for with their finances and also their time. One full payment is available for $497, which includes the 8-week program with recorded calls online, the Facebook group, and also that private one-on-one session. And that can be on the phone or face-to-face or online. Like Skype or a video chat. 8 essential keys from pain, to passion and purpose will begin on September 28th with a new moon and will complete on November 16th before Thanksgiving. We'll meet on Thursday evenings, and I'm a little bit open to the start time. It'll be either 6:30 or 7. We'll be polling the registrants to see the best time for everybody to start. All the presentations will be recorded, so you'll have access to them for the time that we're working through the course, and then at least 3 months after the completion of the program. And here's a couple of things that people are saying about this work. You'll find a lot more endorsements and quotables on my website. You can go to Wild Success, the number 4 and the word YOU, Wild Success for You. Or you can also go to wildsuccessforyouinvitation.com, and that's the website for the 30-day program. So there's a couple of different ones. I love this quote by Rilke. Perhaps all the dragons of our lives are princesses who are only waiting to see us once, beautiful and brave. Perhaps everything horrible is in its deepest being something that really wants our love. And of course, Rilke did not take my course. He's a famous poet, but I love that quote. The 4 facets of the Wild Success for You help you to love the life you live and live the life you love. And I'm going to touch on those briefly here so that we can connect them with the 8 keys, and you can see how that all relates. So our first section is discovery or self-discovery. And the first 3 keys are here in the base, or the root chakra. We have our sacred root, and this is where you can connect to the earth beneath you and draw up energy from the earth. And you can also release things into the earth that you're ready to let go of. So it's a good place to purge, a good method for clearing and really revitalizing. It's a powerful first key, and it really sets us up with a good foundation for doing the work that we do from here. The second chakra, moving up to just below the navel, is about rebirthing yourself. And part of it is about reconnecting with our feminine nature. And this is whether you're a woman or a man. We all have a birthing place, a place from which we can bring forth things and give birth, again, in alignment with our core self. Our third key is connected with our solar plexus in the middle of our midsection. And it's a really strong area in the energetic system. And as a key, it's the place we can find meaning and purpose in our life for everything, including those things that hurt or are difficult for us. We can discover their true purpose and glean valuable information for moving forward. And I want to note here that if you don't know anything about the chakra system, the energy system within the body, there's no need to worry. And each of the keys will begin with a beautiful invocation that talks you into the energetic space of that particular key. And then there's a teaching component that helps you to understand first the chakra, and then the energy of that chakra, and secondly, how it relates to these keys. And then we end each program with a beautiful integrative meditation that takes you deeply into the healing space around that particular energy center and that particular key. And people just release incredible amounts of stored energy. And of course, I, as a master success coach, having trained in depth psychology, which focuses on the unconscious, and also being a shamanic healer and a conscious energy teacher. This is an area of fascination, of study, and of expertise for me. This getting at stuck energy and helping you move it. The second aspect of wild success for you is transformation. And we have the next two keys here. So we already talked about number 4, that is in the heart center, and it's about finding and living from your authentic self. The 5th key is in the throat, and it really is about communication and communicating your evolving self. It's about expressing that in various ways and hopefully every day in your daily life. It's not always about speaking. It may be about listening. It could also be about writing or some other form of communication. The sacred path relates to the brow or the third eye chakra. And to me, as an energy teacher and shamanic healer, I believe this is about realizing the truth that the sacred space is within you. And even though you can go visit special sacred places to rejuvenate or to draw inspiration from, the honest truth is that which is within you is where that sacredness lies. And we learn how to tap it and expand it and weave it into our everyday life to make every day sacred. The top of the head, or the crown chakra, relates to oneness, and it's where we're all connected with this remarkable web of life that moves in and through all people, all things, all situations. And we learn how to better affect that web and also how to draw sustenance from it, how to find peace within ourselves. Our last of the 4 components is soul creativity. And this relates to the 8th key. As I've said, people really adore this key. And I think it's because it was really divinely inspired information. I've never seen this particular aspect of the chakras written about or taught anywhere before I wrote about it in the 8 Keys to Wholeness. It works with a triad of chakras, and it involves a triad of divine gifts: your divine inheritance, your divine passion, and your divine mission. And we aren't going to go through all the correlating chakras or go too deeply into this material tonight because, that's a couple-hour process in itself. But I will tell you that your divine inheritance are those gifts that you receive in this lifetime. And sometimes people realize their gifts and sometimes they don't. So that's often a part of what we explore, help to draw out, help to develop, and to celebrate. And your divine passions are those things you just long to do. Sometimes I call them your soul's longings. They're the things that if you get to the end of your life and you haven't done them, you're going to be disappointed. Something that was yours to do didn't get done. And your divine mission, well, we talk a lot about how to find out what this is. What is your divine mission? And then how to ground this in, how to make it purposeful and bring it forth into the world. And as I said before, this is a beautiful adventure, a wilderness adventure of going into your own wild and untamed parts, finding what's been lost or unexpressed or never discovered before, never even known to be there. There's so much more to you than even you know. So why were we born? We are here on this earth to experience the fullness, the sweetness of life with all it has to offer. Imagine the possibilities right now. Regardless of what is or is not happening in your life, where could you go from here? And do you know what your heart's desire is? Because you really carry within you what is most precious, the best gem of all. You really have an inner compass found through these heart's desires and soul's longings to help guide you and negotiate with the twists and the turns of this adventure of life. You know, when you learn something new, you may seek out a teacher to help train you. And when you venture into new territory, you may seek a guide to help you find the proper trail. When you take on a mountain climb that's difficult, you might even engage a Sherpa to help with the burden of your heavy load. I want you to know that I'm an experienced teacher, a seasoned guide, and a willing Sherpa, and I would love to walk with you into the wilderness of your own being and help you discover what is your heart of hearts' truest desire and your soul's beautiful longing, and help you draw it forward and realize its full potential. I really celebrate the light in you, and I can see your soul radiance. Together, we can make that leap from mediocre to wild success. And I know I can't do it for you, but I have a lot of tools that can help you, encourage you, and give you strength to make that courageous jump to what's next. And you know, it's not just for you that you do this. When we grow, we contribute that growth to our families and our friends. So it's really from a giving place that we can do this work. And it's not just about our families. It goes beyond that, because as within, so without. So as you do this growth within you, that growth, that development, that awakening, that peace radiates out and affects our world. And we really could use that good energy right now, seasoning our collective earth, blessing our dear planet. So I want to tell you about a couple of extra bonuses that I'm offering with a sign up at this time for this program. And I know that it doesn't happen until September, but we're already seeing that this is going to fill up. And I'd really love to include you in this first online group. So I'm offering that beautiful jumbo reference card that you saw before, the one that highlights the 8 keys and correlates them with the chakras they engage with, so that you can have that for easy reference. And I'm also offering you a complimentary, personally signed copy of the award-winning, internationally published 8 Keys to Wholeness, Tools for Hope-Filled Healing, which is the perfect companion for this program. And even though it's not required reading, you'll be able to refer to it again and again and again. So that $950 value plus $200 in bonuses, you can bring that down to $497 if you pay in full. But I'm also going to offer you this additional $100 off tonight. So you can have the art reference card, the companion book, the inspirational coaching session, the 8 weeks of in-depth programming, including discovery and transformational processes and tools that I've developed over 30 years in my coaching and teaching practice. All of that if you register now, and that additional $100 off. And I'm not sure how long will be offering that. I'm going to just put it up on our screen here. There it is. Okay. And if you feel kind of on the fence about it, if there's something drawing you, but you're not sure you want to commit, I'll provide you with a 15 to 20 minute phone conversation to help you clarify. We can explore if it's a good match for you and also what you're needing right now for you, what's important for you right now. Also, if you'd like to do an in-depth coaching session with me, then I'll also offer you a discovery session at an introductory rate. And we can do those in person, by phone, or face-to-face online. It's really an opportunity for us to focus on your specific situations, who you are, what are your challenges, and how I might help you move through that. So let me just add those up here. There's the mini session. And here's the discovery session. You know, the feedback I've received about the amount of work that people do in this 8 weeks is really pretty astounding. It's wonderful to see the great benefit they receive in just 8 short weeks working through this program. So, are you up for a deeper dive into who you are, a deeper inquiry into what you desire and what wants to create through you? Are you ready and willing to look at what's holding you back? I believe in you, and I know you have much to offer. Together, let's backpack into that wilderness of your truest self and move into those remote or dark places. Let's mine the precious treasure within. Is $397 worth that personal trek? Do you have questions for me or other communication? Go ahead and email me at the emails that are listed on this page, donna@donnadenome.com or wildsuccesscoach@gmail.com. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever's going on in your life, this is the call. Come home to yourself. This is Donna Denome for Wild Success for You, and please know my wish for you is that you can claim your wildest success and your sweetest happiness. It truly is my passion and my privilege to assist you in navigating your own wilderness as you stretch into your vast potential. Thank you so much for spending some of your precious time with me online. And bye for now.